All right, here we go. Really the moment I've been dreading because there was a lot of great movies in 2016, but there was enough of them. But there was an overabundance of crap, mega crap that I saw. These are the movies that I actually saw. I saw some of them on DVD. I actually went to go see some of these. All right, here we go.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
You got nothing on me. You know it, I know it. I'm changing dollar bills, that's all.
Well, I'm not going home.
We've got too far!
A day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
You chose the wrong side.
I want your future.
Failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done.
Believe me when I say.
Yeah, the problem with having all that money is sooner or later you're going to have to explain where it came from.
We can break this army here.
At a time.
And they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
This is your time.
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
Seize the day.
That's the Chicago way.
Man in a suit armor. Take that away. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, philanthropist.
No, my name is the Lord. When I tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our Independence Day.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. First of all, the title alone should tell you this movie's going to suck. And based on it's in the same universe as the Harry Potter franchise, which I was never a fan of. So I basically come in this with blinded eyes, and I have no idea about the Harry Potter universe except what my family and my friends tell me about. And Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And see, the problem with this whole film is the main protagonist who comes on this film, he does a lot of this. And that's what really bothered me. He does this stupid grin on the whole film. Maybe he's trying to get into his character, but it annoyed the hell out of me. Moving on. Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. If this movie would have got an R rating, if it would have executed the zombie horror and it tried to do some kind of romance, at the same time, it would have got a great movie and it would have been my best of 2016. But this is by far my number 2 worst movie of 2016, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. God. Moving on, Underworld Blood Wars. I just saw this movie, by the way, and special screening, and I was able to see it. And this movie is just a big bag of nuts, all right? Trying to just put it all in you. Really though, it's just basically an action film. It doesn't really explain anything. The only thing that really pissed me off was that Michael Corvinus dies in this film. You don't actually see him because he was the half strong pulse. That mythology never gets explored. And another thing, Eve, her daughter, who comes on the last Underworld Awakening, does not show up on this film. She does kind of a little bits and pieces, and she doesn't really make her presence felt. And Kate Beckinsale, there's a lot of people on this film that maybe they think it might seem a little bit scary if they do that. Doesn't work for me. But the action scenes were pretty good, but the first action scene was horrible. It's like I was trying to figure out what the hell was happening because the camera angle would go this way, the camera angle would go that way, edit this, edit that, blah, 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 blah. And that was my problem with Underworld Blood Wars. Other than that, I liked it. but it's still one of the worst movies of 2016. Jane Got a Gun. Oh my God, Natalie Portman, darling, you do not believe in this thing. A very talented actress, Natalie Portman, but this film executed and told a story about a girl, a wife who loses her husband, who gets ambushed by people that were his friends, and she has to put on a gun, and somehow we're all supposed to believe she's going to kick some butt, and that's not what happens. That's not what happens on this film. Somebody else does the butt kicking, so maybe they should have got John Got a Gun or something. Jenny's got a gun. Dog days get big gun. All right, moving on. The Huntsman Winter's War. I wasn't anticipating this movie. I didn't even know they were going to do a sequel about it. So, Charlize Theron and Chris Hemsworth in particular, and everybody else in this film, I really would want to focus on Charlize Theron. Why was she even on this film? Why the hell was she on this film? Emily Blunt, she didn't fit in the sequence of the film either. So it's kind of like a meshing of styles in here because they have their own style, okay? And it just didn't work for me. And The Huntsman Winter's War is one of my worst movies of 2016. Moving on, Gods of Egypt. Gods of Egypt. Oh, God. Good God! Gods of Egypt. Your Horus, Lord of the Air. Once I heard that, I was like, what the hell? It's supposed to be Egypt. It's nowhere near the United Kingdom or Europe. And once I saw that, I was like, okay, this is not going to go well. But other than that, I really enjoyed this movie because it, based on special effects wise, even though there was so much going on, you probably have Down syndrome when you're done watching it. And the next movie, London Has Fallen. The only reason it's on this list because it was just basically an action movie, just for the sake of making a sequel. And most of maybe like 30 or 40 minutes into this film, it's filmed in the dark. So the cinematography was horrible. It's like shooting an action movie, and that would have looked really cool if I would have been able to see it well. That's how they filmed this film. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Gerard Butler and Spurs. All right, 10 Cloverfield Lane is on this list basically not because it was a bad film, because it bored the hell out of me. 10 Cloverfield Lane bored the hell out of me. It kind of said something. It was a pre-equal, supposed to be a pre-equal, and there was no monster on this, no kaiju on this one. That's what really pissed me off too. That's why it's on this list. And John Goodman kind of let us know that he's responsible for the attack of New York, the first the Cloverfield, and then at the very end you see her going into town, and you kind of see like a little silhouette of a giant monster. We're not quite sure, but hopefully they'll tell the freaking story the right way. That's why 10 Cloverfield Lane is one of the worst movies of 2006 because it was just boring. All right, moving on. Young Messiah. Keep in mind that, like I said, I'm Christian. But basically this movie could have been on the History Channel, and that's why, and just the overall dullness of this film really just did not help me. Did not, because, I'm not going to get into about Christianity here, but just basically not staying true to Jesus' childhood, because we really don't know what happened in his childhood. All we know is what we read in the Bible, and I don't think this movie did it well, and I just think it was boring. It was very uninspired, and it's basically false doctrine. All right, I said it. Moving on, Meet the Blacks. Oh my God, Meet the Blacks. Meet the Blacks was basically a Purge ripoff, and just put Friday, barf it out of your mouth, and you got Meet the Blacks. And that's why this film, with all the cussing, and even if it wasn't even funny when they cussed anyways, and I'm really disappointed by this movie. I was expecting something hilarious like Friday, but that's not what I got. All right, moving on. The Boy. A movie that made you think it was going to be another Killer Doll story. And that's not the way it turned out, because it ended up being a murder that was inside of a wall. It eventually comes out at the very end of the film and attacks the main protagonist of the film. And that alone, that alone, I mean, was really ruined this film, and that's why I think it's one of the worst movies of 2016. And here we go. I'm just the movie I was talking about, and my voice messed up a little bit. The Purge election year. Oh my God, this movie was awful. It was just a lot of, not even, the gore wasn't even done well. The acting was horrendous. I feel like Simon Cowell from American Idol. This movie was horrendous. I can't even look at it. The Purge election year was just basically the overall plot line could have been a good plot if they would have actually executed properly. Basically, this lady, she's been fighting. She's actually the original victim of the first Purge, and the Purge goes into practice. Basically, they vote on it happening, and she has to somehow survive the night. You know, where murder and stealing and whatever, all this other horrible stuff is legal. And that would have been a great idea if it would have translated well to this film, and it didn't. Sorry, bye bye. All right, next, and Jaws meets Blake Lively. Blake Lively was on this film and nobody else. What the hell happened to this film? And given it was 75 minutes long, and I still thought it was too long for me, Blake Lively plays a victim fighting for her life against a hungry shark, and that's pretty much it. And that's why it's one of my top 4 worst movies of 2016. Zoolander 2, Will Ferrell. Oh my God. He was the only thing that really actually made me laugh. This movie was not funny. Zoolander 2 is basically a sequel of the hit movie Zoolander, and time tells us that not every sequel comes out right. Not every sequel that comes out, you know, ends up living to the main vehicle, the main film. And Zoolander 2 was horrible. It was it was not funny. It had a lot of special guest appearances on it, and it's just basically a horrible film, and I hate it. And wish it would die a horrible death. All right. And now, my number 1 movie of 2016 that was the absolute worst movie of 2016. Here we go. You probably saw it in the beginning, but I gave you 4. Drum roll, please. The Fifth Wave. The Fifth Wave is basically a novel translated on the film, and it tells the story of a girl trying to find her brother in the middle of these alien attacks, and she meets this guy, and he happens to be really hot. Guy. You know, like, hey, baby, how you doing? That little romance between this film. Bore the hell out of everybody in the movies. The Fifth Wave was horrible. It's basically novel translated on another. It gives us 50 Shades of Grey, horror dreams, and Twilight Dreams, a poorly executed romance, poorly executed attack. It had a lot of potential, but it could have been a great movie if they would have. Even I saw traces of the Divergent series on this movie, and that's why The Fifth Way is the absolute worst, just below Zoolander 2 film of 2016. All right, if you like what you see here, please share this video. Please comment on this video, whether good or bad feedback, and as well, you guys know my channel upgrade is coming up real soon, right around the corner. And have a happy new year. And wait a minute, you guys we're not done yet. We still got one more list to do, because there was really bad movies of 2006. There was a whole overabundance of them, and I'm about to do it. All right, see you guys real soon. Bye.
How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. Ta-da! Come out to the coast. We'll get together, have a few laughs.
She's a bitch! Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think McFly, think.
We found the bulk of the dirty cash. Time to move in.
The price is wrong.
You got knocked up.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
This is Sparta! slimed me.
The who? The her.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
I'll be back.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.